Hello, this is our 2007 Holden v Commodore, and as part of its 300,000 kilometre service, today I'll be replacing the transmission oil and oil filter. In engineering mode, you'll want to go to your trans sump temp, and now it's 54 degrees, which is ideal to do the oil change. So after you've let the engine warm up and transmission warm up, I'm just going to check the oil level. So that's just above the full line. Once the car is safely supported, we'll go underneath and we'll start draining the transmission oil. And this is what we'll need for the transmission oil service. We'll need an oil filter kit, and because it's a 4-speed automatic, we'll need the RTK4 version. I'll need about 4 litres of oil, maybe 5, so I've just bought an extra bottle just in case. And the oil we need is specified as Dextron 6, which is that. So we're underneath the vehicle now, and this is our transmission sump. And we'll have to undo all these fixed fasteners and allow the oil to drain slowly. And what we'll do is we'll start from this end. We'll just undo those, and these ones loosen them off, and then once it's drained we'll take the whole pan off. Okay, so now we're at the final few bolts, and we'll just undo them slowly, and the transmission oil should start pouring out. And here's just another view of the transmission, and that black plastic thing is the transmission oil filter, which is what we'll have to take out and replace. Okay, so here's our transmission sump. Got the old seal, that's the old filter, and it's always a good idea to compare it with the new one. So here's our new one, and that's our new gasket seal. And notice that the new one has a sleeve, and the old one doesn't, which means it's still in the transmission, and we'll have to remove that somehow. So here in the sump we've actually got a magnet, and that collects the metal filings from the gearbox. Now you will get a little bit, that is normal. The good thing is there's no large chunks, and that could be a sign of a damaged gearbox. So this is normal, we'll just clear it up and then we'll just clean the faces and then we can put it back on. Okay, so now our sump is nice and clean. Put the magnet back where we found it, and I'll also degrease the fasteners so it's all nice and clean before we put it back on. So this is what it looks like underneath, and that's your inside of the auto transmission. What we'll have to do is we'll clean up the gasketing face all around, and in there we've got that brass sleeve. It's hard to take out, but because it's in good condition we'll just leave it in there, and then we'll just pop the new filter on and then put the gasket and trans sump back on. So here's the new filter, and this is the brass sleeve I was talking about. Because the current one's still in good condition, there's no need to fit the new one. It'll also work just as well. So now the gasket's been fitted to the sump, and now we can put it back underneath. So I've just used the car jack to help me get the trans sump back into position, and then we can start fitting off the bolts. So now all the fasteners are done, and to torque them up we're just going to work in a crisscross fashion. So we'll go from the middle and crisscross as we go, and we only tighten them up just a little bit more than finger tight, so I think it's about 11 Newton meters, which is not a lot, so don't over tighten, as you can cause it to actually break the seal and leak. So we've poured our 4 litres of oil, we'll just put the dipstick back in, and we'll start the engine and recheck the fluid level. Alright, so we'll start the engine. Now make sure your handbrake is up and your foot is on the brake pedal. We'll just start it up. We'll just let it run for a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to go into every gear and we'll hold it there for a few seconds. Now make sure your foot's on the brake as well as your park brake, so you don't go anywhere. And this will just allow the fluid to go into every gear as it's meant to. And then that way we can get an accurate fluid level when we check it again. You see how we need to fill it up a little bit more. Now we have to keep repeating this until we get the correct level. Okay, so now we've got the correct level, and what we'll do is we'll just lock it in, and we'll check underneath the car and make sure there's no leaks. So now that the transmission has been running for a little bit and we think we have the correct level, we'll just go back underneath and just check for any leaks and just make sure we don't have any. Doesn't look like we do on this side. We'll check the other side and then that should be good to go. In the end, we ended up using a little over 5 litres of oil. Since there are no leaks underneath and the oil is at its correct level, just take it for a test drive and make sure everything is running smoothly. Thanks for watching.